My next review is the Island of Death, released by Arrow Video, which comes with a reversible cover. If I can just revert it back to the original cover. There's the original cover. To this understanding, this film had a few various names. First one's Ta Pedia Tu Diavolu, a craving for lust, island of perversion, devils in Mykonos. Die Zuflüchtenden von Mykonos, which was for various types of titles for various countries, which is the second slasher horror set in the Greek island. Is like its previous film Anthropicus the Beast, which was also set in Greece, where scenes of horrific, graphic barbarity and etc. It says on the front of the reversible cover, the lucky ones got their brains blown out. And it's a film by Nico Mastorakis, which was one of the films that came under the crossfire at the time of the Video Nasties DPP obscene publications list. And it says Greece is transformed into a bloodbath of sex, death and sadism when an English couple arrive for a perverse rampage of lust and murder through the sleepy streets of the quiet island. In other words, it was a risky, taboo film of the time when it was filmed. The cultural understanding is basically what's seen in the trailer, which is seen all the best bits, so like all the death and sex and etc. But I never seen the entire film. But there was another film that was featured in the Video Nasty's definitive guide and box set, and the Mykonos was once referenced in an episode of the sitcom Two Broke Girls, where one of the characters were mentioning about a trip to Mykonos that never ever happened. But it's like with all the other horror films that comes in a box set like this. A couple of adverts like this one is for the catalogue of the films in the series. So like Demons 2, Vamp and etc. 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 and Macabre, and so many others. And there's a poster advert for a film called Deep Red. But this one is more of a novelty card advert, and with some writing at the back, which came from eBay because I won a couple of box sets of eBay. This is from a note from the seller. Thank you very much for your purchase, and I hope you enjoy the films. In other words, go to his site, and the link to various sites which should not can't broadcast, but at the time, with the lack of morality in films like this, so many video distribution outlets got fined and prosecuted for distributing films like this to underage 18s because there was no certification going on. Like I highlighted in my last review for Vipco's The Boogeyman Uncut review, which I mentioned all the areas about video censorship and how they were introduced and who brought it in, and etc, etc, etc. But I've seen a trailer for this on the Video Nasties and box set, but it was quite bizarre film to quite understanding, and I don't want to spoil much about the film itself because of so many people haven't seen it or may not want to see it or get round to see it. I don't go into much graphic detail about this film until you see it and judge for yourself. There's the island of death known as the Teuflischen von Mykonos. So check it out, and then the next one up is Lucio Fulci, Masters of Giallo. In other words, Giallo is perhaps it's Italian for Masters of Horror. The house by the cemetery that also had various entitlements and things. Another one that suffered the mercy and the wrath of the video nasties, which, like the Islands of Death, that had cuts, and so did the house by the cemetery, which also had to go through drastic regime cuts and etc. Like Islands of Death, it comes, but this one comes with a booklet titled "The House by the Cemetery Video Nasty Vixen" by Callum Waddell. And it says in the extra on the blur, but it says, "Well, controversy creates cash, as they say. Did Pascal tell you that he cast you in Notorious primarily because of your Fulci work?" In other words, it was an extract of an interview at the time, and it's full detailing of the film and how it was conceived, and bits about why it became scrutinized under the DPP list of video nasties, but it comes with a double-sided collector's art poster with the house by the cemetery, like a mock-up of the front of the cover, and it's also a trade advert at the back for other titles in the Arrow video collection. Just fold this up and put this back in there. But the great thing about these box sets is most of them comes with a double-sided collector's piece. There's the original artwork that was on the original VHS, some releases of the film at the time of the video nasties, and there's the alternate version you can see, which can have it at both sides. It all depends which art detailing that you prefer. But I always like the alternate version sleeves because it's more standable and artistic. Yeah, like the Island of Death, there's not much to go on because I haven't seen the film its entirety go on about the graphic merits of the film. But at the time of the video nasties and the film censorship in the media and etc., it didn't help much to a great level of detail because it almost corrupted film studios for making films, and it ended careers of well-established directors. I was attending a special screening before Christmas last year of Cannibal Holocaust that got introduced by the Italian director of the house on the cemetery of the park, Ruggero Diodato. He explained to the crowd at the time his frustration and anger and how the media exploited his works, where the news media what was going around these war effort countries during heat and conflict, showing to the masses video footage of piles of dead bodies, severed limbs, and summarized executions, which frustrated and upsetted Ruggero Diodato and with the likes of Lucio Fulci, that never got over the horror, visceral and gratifying ridiculization of being accused of enticing kids to go around and murdering people. It's like there was a scene in Fright Night, which directed by Tom Holland. Peter Vincent quoted to Charlie Brewster, they said, all they want to see is men in ski masks going around and hacking up young virgins, and that people see that and hear that line at the time of the film came out. I thought it was pretty far-fetched comment, but it was quite truthful, exactly. But it angered upset many fans seeing their beloved films being chopped to pieces, and seeing it's not exactly the same film. That's why they went to things like conventions, which they can buy black market tapes and that, all with the scenes intact and that. But there was one vendor that eventually had his stock seized, but by the police, and fined and prosecuted for illegal distribution of black marketed uncut films as censorship. Like I said in the review of The Bogeyman, about films that had to cost more up to $5,000 to be sent off for certification, and some had to be heavily cut, and Paul Furman, the head of the BBFC at the time, oversee the aspects of both the certification and the merits of the film, where it should be cut and conceived. But fear not, with the likes of Arrow Video and the Horror Channel, which you can see now all your favourite films uncut and digitally remastered, and you can see it in all of its gory, violent and bloody detail. Also, check the trailer out for itself on the Video Nasties, the Definitive Guide DVD, with an introduction insight to the film. And I get round to seeing this sometime. Once I see both films, I come back again and do a separate review going about what I've just seen in the film. But I don't want to spoil the plot of the film because some of you haven't quite not seen it. I think that's a fair assumption, but dig, and this is Frankie Smales for Arrow Video Reviews of the Island of Death and the House by the Cemetery. Thank you for watching.